was like, and but
you're
after
so traumatized by like beating yourself in the head, and you didn't notice anymore.
you can also take a hammer.
Are you poo-pooing our alternative therapies here, sir?
You can also take a hammer to your toe.
Oh, I don't feel any other pain.
Your headache will go away. Every now and then I just have to do that. Use your left hand. There
What's
you go.
the button you have on there?
PBR.
Okay.
Pabst. There you go. That's a good one. Oh yeah, that looked good.
It's like one of them
That looks cool.
cardboard.
Yeah, it does.
For the cardboard things that the wobbly heads.
That's what I used to watch.
We are bubbleheads.
I used to watch that show on TV, and at the end they would go, "Happy trails to you
Until we meet.
Why don't they have subgenius bobbleheads?
Why don't they have what?
Subgenius bobbleheads.
They probably
Bob
do.
Bobbles.
Bob Bobbles.
Bob Bubbles.
They have like
He
a
owes
ton
me
of
money.
merchandise.
Oh, I know. I've seen most of it, but I don't remember seeing bobbleheads.
They need a Bob Bobble with the pipe.
Yeah.
They could even just have a bobble pipe,
No, you hit the pipe, it stays still, but everything else on the thing moves.
The head moves and the pipe stays where it was.
Punk! Kill.
He has nice guitars, doesn't he? They're all real old.
I had a Honer, and then funny thing, the last filming I did, it fell in my kitchen, and the neck snapped right at the top. I can fix it. I can get a clamp, and I can I know how to fix it. I just haven't done it yet. But right at the top,
Yeah.
I had that Honer a long time. Had the high action.
Just above the nut. I mean, just below the nut. Yeah.
I knew it was. I had to tune really high. I was under a lot of stress, and when it fell,
That was just one.
bang! I looked at it. I was like, "That ain't right." I can't play. I can't even play slide on it.
No.
I can't remember when me and my brother came with the idea. You know all those rock bands that destroy their guitars at the end of their set? Someone needs to make a pinata guitar. So that when they destroy the thing against, like...
Candy comes out.
Exactly. Candy comes out.
And it slings all out into the audience.
Exactly.
Or drugs.
Guitar picks
drugs.
or little.
Man,
Little,
that would be
they
more
could fill it
fitting.
with
Guitar picks, yeah.
Little candy skulls filled with heroin. Yeah, it worked out perfectly.
candy skulls full of heroin.
Yeah.
They'd have to play New York, I guess. I don't know.
LA.
LA.
Oh, did you hear in California? Even though marijuana is supposedly legal there, you can still get fired for smoking it.
Yeah.
That's news.
Well, it was a recent court decision.
Yeah. Well, liquor's legal here, but you can still get fired for smoking it on the job.
Well, yeah, but that's it. Not smoking the job, smoking it, period.
Well, because I guess if you smoke marijuana, it could show up even weeks later, and all they have to do is test you, and you're like, oh, I smoked weeks ago, and they're like, oh, you're fired.
But the reason that he was fired is because the company was afraid of a federal drug raid if they had a known smoker working there.
Oh, so they were dealing in marijuana. The company was.
No, but if they
Why would they have a drug raid if they didn't have drugs there?
And why would they be afraid of a drug raid?
Who owns this company? Who's the CEO?
The only people I know that are afraid of a drug raid are people with drugs.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm terrified of a drug raid. I don't have any drugs.
That looks pretty
Then
weak.
why are you terrified of it?
Well,
they shot
Because
that
cops
one.
are stupid and can't read directions.
But
They have a nasty tendency of breaking into the wrong house.
But they'll come in. Okay, then tell them to go, and they won't find. Even if they tear it up, then you can sue them later.
As long as you don't have a flag out
If
there,
you're,
shoot you.
okay.
if you're still alive,
It's right side up.
They did shoot
Yeah.
that black woman and
Yeah.
a kid, you know.
You're asking for trouble if you know.
Yeah, be sure and have a flag outside of your house. They won't raid you.
American flag?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Unless it's upside
It's
down.
upside down, yeah. Then you
If it's upside down, they'll break your door down.
I was going to have like an anarchy flag with the anarchy in purple. Would that think that would work? That help?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, then they'll think you have guns and won't come in.
Have you ever been to my MySpace site
I don't think so. Actually.
and seen all my anarchy friends?
No, I haven't. I should do that.
I actually deleted one of my anarchy friends last night. He installed on his homepage some of what I considered to be pretty obnoxious hip hop.
Okay.
And just based on that fact, I said, sorry, dude, you've been, one of my anarchy friends for a long time, but you're out of here. I couldn't handle it.
I can't seem to get into MySpace. I just don't have the interest in it. Of course, I say that like I'm all superior, but I read about 120 blogs a day, so that's where my addiction is garden variety blogs.
Just garden variety blogs?
Yeah.
Not of like very famous writers and people really worth reading blogs.
Yes, and I read some of those.
Those
but
are great.
A lot of the ones I read, I like those guys.
Those guys.
All this communicating going on.
Huh?
So
Communicating. Have you seen The Big Think yet? Have you been to The Big Think?
No, I don't think so.
Well, try it out. Big Think.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I think I have seen that. It's got like people. I think they did a thing on the Colbert Report. What was it? What did they do again?
Well, they've started out with a very large sort of double handful of people who are experts
Right.
in various fields and all, expounding upon various things, and then they've invited all of the rest of us to go and see what these people have said, make our comments, and also put our own ideas, join the conversation.
Okay.
And
That was BigThink.com?
Big Think.
Big Think.
Big
I'll have to
Think.
go there again.
It's really in its infancy. I mean, it may be something akin to it may become something that's very important to society now that the technology for it is here. We're still in our infancy. We're still working out our growing pains and seeing what it's actually going to be like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What is?
But it's a good start. The thing called The Big Think, and the thing is, see, there are no boundaries as far as national boundaries and things like that, and people from all over the world discuss all kinds of topics
online or something.
online, and it's all recorded. You can go on and you can see who commented on what about the subject and stuff like that. And they started out by interviewing Nobel Peace Prize winners and things like that, that were experts in their fields on different subjects, and that was just like a seed thing to get the conversation going, and it all builds on that, and they continue to.
It's all text. Just type.
No. You can be. It's up to you. It's whatever technology you have available to you. If you've got a webcam and can put on a video, you can do a little monologue on the video, or you can put it as text, or you can put it as text with a slideshow perhaps, or with graphics of some sort.
Or just sound.
Kabuki.
Sound with just sound. It depends on your technology, what you got.
Okay.
So, and that's a lot of what they're still working out. I don't know how it's gonna break down to. Is it gonna be like all things that are just sound will be in this group, and I don't know. But
I think more projects like, I think it was SETI who you can
SETI,
you can use your computer and network.
My roommate
Right.
does that.
If more organizations got to that, because it's a resource without building a bigger resource and connecting people.
Right, and they're also
being
doing
part
that-
of it, part of something.
They're also doing that to
genome,
to
yeah.
decode the human
Yeah.
genome.
They've also
Exactly.
got a music genome project.
Yeah, I love that.
What's the Music
Um,
Genome Project?
It's
Pandora's
just
box is called.
Yeah,
Freaking awesome. You
Yeah,
make
it
your
is.
own.
yeah, radio stations,
Just-
everything.
it's like having the
it's
Smithsonian
connecting
on,
all
you
kinds
know,
of
wherever
music
you
and
want.
getting
Yeah.
every band, every song, completely online.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
And you create your own radio station. They call it. But,
yeah. Put in like all the bands.
It goes
like,
every-
and then it'll
every-
tell you bands that are like them, everything from tonation to like subject matter in
Right.
the songs and.
Neat.
Yeah, pulled up Hot Tuna. I created a Hot Tuna station, and it was
Nice.
just awesome. Yeah.
My favorite internet thing lately has been the war declared on Scientology by 4chan.
That's awesome.
Are you guys aware of 4chan?
For
Heard of
chant.
No, 4chan. CHAN. It's a American version of a Japanese phenomenon. Basically, an image site is a good description of it. You ever wonder where the bottom of the internet is? It would be on 4chan.
The bottom of the internet.
The bottom of the internet.
Okay, it's in Japanese.
No, it's in American. Well, let me rephrase that. It's in NetSpeak.
Okay.
Um,
So sort of the Esperanto of the internet.
That was a top and bottom.
Yeah. Are you saying that the
Infinite circle.
the scum of the net has settled here? Is that
No
what
matter
you're
where
saying?
you go,
Yeah.
you're still in the same
Okay,
place
yes.
on the internet.
The scum of the net
Well,
has
the
settled
universe
here.
is a dodecahedron that folds around on itself. They just found that out.
It's,
No, it's a series of tubes. No, Asheville is a sexual dodecahedron.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yes, that's right.
Does it fold? Obviously,
folded
it would
on
fold.
itself.
Obviously, it would.
There's something strangely appropriate about Asheville being a sexual 20-sided die. I like that.
A sexual what?
20-sided die. A dice with 20 sides on it. They use them in role-playing games. Like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So, I'm sorry, I'm reaching there. Anyway.
No, you're not. That's that.
I saw a couple of
Yeah.
guys in the in Chicken Alley with swords earlier while I was on my
Well,
way here.
you have a symbol.
They were
of-
like
that-
ninja
Isn't
costumes
that
and
an
fighting
anarchy
swords.
symbol?
It is a
The world's
chaos.
going
Chaos.
nuts.
Yes.
The
And
world
there was
is
a
going
cop
nuts.
sitting there with his blue lights
It's
on,
good.
like there was a wreck right there, and he's just looking over at him, going,
This was invented by Michael Moorcock.
You ain't
for
seen
his
nothing
Elric
yet,
books.
baby.
It's the symbol of the forces of chaos. I like it.
So anyway, what was their attack on the?
Oh yeah, well, 4chan, the scum of the internet, finally got annoyed enough at Scientology to rally the legions of anonymous users who are on 4chan to create denial of service attacks on every Scientology site.
Oh,
Over half of them are down now.
wow! There were actually enough people.
Oh yeah, vast are
The
the
scum
legions.
is thick at the bottom, isn't it?
It's been accumulating for years.
It's you ever heard of the Black Goat of 1,000 Young?
Uh-uh.
It's a Cthulhu deity. It's like this humongous black pudding sort of thing that creates life.
Bug. It's a big bug or something.
Well, a gigantic malevolent amoeba, perhaps. But that's
It's like
what
the
4chan
Petri
is.
dish.
It's just
What is that?
That's
That
it.
cup.
We
Take
haven't
it off of it.
No, do that. I like that.
Oh, you do. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The table.
All right, so this is a big blobby black thing. Yeah, I've
Well,
seen the blobby
Cthulhu
black
is-
thing.
okay,
It is
so-
God.
It
is a god, a dark and terrible god, and the said site is not like Scientology. So it is devoting its massive destructive resources against the Church of L. Ron Hubbard,
Wow.
which I say Yahoo.
I've seen this. I've come personally to know the big black globby God, and so if it's so,
Let it be so. If it's so, then let it be so.
And what are they doing? These people are all just
So let it
going
be
to
written,
the
so let it be done.
Scientology
So let it be.
sites and clicking on everything until so many of them do it, it pulls the site off.
Well, they're not doing it manually. They're using
Bots.
hacker programs,
I
like
got
that.
you.
But they're directing them towards the sites.
Okay. So that
Yeah,
so
they've
from
just made bots
so the
that
scum,
go
the
on.
scum
That-
of the, a
that
lot of the
sounds
scum at the bottom
dangerous.
have hacker programs.
Oh yeah,
I'm
course
glad we're
they
in.
do.
I'm glad we're in a
That's
tea
where the
party.
best. That's where all the best hacker programs live.
exactly.
Oh yeah. Would that be some of the same people that wrote Slackware?
No.
No?
In fact, I met the guy who wrote Slackware.
Did you?
Yes, I
The
did.
initial person who
Yeah,
initially wrote Slackware. Okay.
I met him. He has a lovely wife and
yes, dear.
They've been snatching them as I walked in. Oatmeal, no peanut butter.
Holy molies.
Okay?
Wait. Are there two different kinds?
No, just oatmeal. You don't like oatmeal?
Oh, oatmeal.
No peanut butter, I said.
Oh, yeah.
I love oatmeal. Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
How are
I
you
want
doing?
several. Wait a minute. One more. All right, we have more cookies.
They're warm.
They're always.
I know. Yeah. Can you believe that?
Come on in.
Hey, come in, sit down, and say something
Hello.
intelligent, please.
I'm gonna not.
Come in and say. I say, how's
That's
it
what
going?
she said on
Joke
TV.
about that.
I'm gonna not.
So yes, hackers. Fun stuff.
And tell me again the name of that.
They're also
Of-
gonna
of
get
the
together
bottom
and
of the
assassinate
internet.
Tom Cruise.
I'm sorry.
Are they gonna get together and assassinate Tom Cruise next?
Uh-oh.
Please.
You don't want to assassinate him. You want to
I
just
mean,
try
a
to so
science
crazy
fiction writer,
that he's.
anybody that would go to a church
Yeah,
that was started by a drunken science fiction writer.
The people I want for my market, not his. Darn it!
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
encroaching in my,
My religion
demographic.
is bigger than your religion.
These are just too good.
4chan, the number 4, CHAN.
I believe there used to be an old programming code called Fortran.
Right.
You remember we used to Cobalt and Fortran.
The name is similar, but that's
Binary
not the,
code, you
that's
write
not the
everything.
derivation of it. It's simply the number of the channel. There's like 1chan, 2chan, 3chan, 4chan, 5, 6, 7chan.
Oh,
The
chan a
Matrix.
little more.
9 chan a
One,
dollar.
two, one,
the
two,
Matrix.
one chan,
I
two
know.
chan, 3 chan, 4, 5 chan, 6 chan, 7 chan more.
Yeah, that's a kid's game.
It's just
Oh, I didn't.
No, we don't want to.
Go ahead.
I'm
Well,
glad.
so
And
how-
I'm sad at the same time, you know. Because I know it won't last long.
the fascinating thing about,
Has it been around a long, long time? Back when,
for internet terms, it's been around.
yeah, like when message boards was like
No,
big,
no.
not that long.
Maybe since 2000.
Oh, okay.
But the fascinating thing about those channels is everyone knows there's a tendency when you're on the internet to lose a bit of your empathy. Because you're responding to some nebulous
Text.
collection of text. Exactly.
An electronic being, so to speak.
Yeah, and you don't feel that badly
How are
about
you? Good gentlemen, how are
Hey.
you? Come on in.
Take your hood off.
insulting that person's
Boy,
lineage. In
You
every
just missed the
shape.
cookies.
There's some right here.
But the thing about 4chan is it's an entire community of those people who already camper. There's an entire community of those people who are already at the tip of lack of empathy, in a community with each other, encouraged to be less empathic with each other.
Uh-huh.
And it's just this cycle upon cycle of who can be the more depraved. Oh. And it from an
Cyber world. I
from
don't
an
know.
anthropological
I don't know, man.
viewpoint,
I
it's
don't know about
fascinating
that.
to watch that. It's just
Yeah, that's what this world needs is more lack of empathy.
well, actually,
Absolutely.
it's
Suck the empty right out of you.
it's inspiring in a way. I mean, they're almost in the point of creating some sort of Nietzschean overman in terms of having absolutely no regard for anything whatsoever.
I dropped a piece of cookie.
Sounds like
I thought I'd try to get
that's
it
not
off,
obviously
off
Clark.
the
That
floor
would
before
be,
it got crunched.
Philip K. Dick.
Yeah,
More Philip K. Dick, less Arthur C. Clarke.
this is a very Philip K. Dick message board. I grant you that.
Yeah,
But I mean,
he was nuts. A great writer.
the problem with the sociopaths that we know is they still have some taint of ideology.
They're petty. 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 What you call them? Sociopaths.
Sociopaths, yes.
Petty sociopaths.
Yes, I mean, there are people who kill billions with corporations or with armies, or write incredibly destructive things and don't really care about it. These guys are pure sociopathy. They
They just don't like people.
doesn't even enter into it. They're a howling void of
Cookies.
There you go.
sensation.
One like that. They should eat more cookies.
And they're able, but the
be
point of it is that
warm
they're not all bad. They are able to bring down a Scientologist website.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, that implies that they, like I said, oh, well, let's be nice and bring. No, it's just that this vast destructive force akin to Hurricane Katrina is now pointed at something that we don't like, and we should applaud that. But it's not like they did it out of any sort of moral sense. It's become.
So what's next on their don't like list?
It could be bunnies for all we know, or
But not probably.
You can't really
That's
put
always,
down
How about
bunnies
humans?
with the
That-
internet.
well, that's
Well,
always
that's
that's
true.
always that's always the fear of any
Not
organization
yet.
because within numbers you have power and you can change things. So anytime
They
there
kind of
are
sound
numbers,
like Doomsday.
there's always
from
Superman. Whether it's good
Yeah.
or bad, there's always
Right.
just
that
something
spotlight.
that just
Like
want kills.
well,
that's it. One
That's
thing
ba-
on its mind:
if-
death, destruction.
if-
that's it. Nothing else.
20 people don't buy fuel or don't buy that product, and that's okay.
Don't matter.
But I just got that 2/3 of the country are going to stop doing that for one day. And
Yeah, that would, I think.
you know,
that-
what organization
That's
do they
what these
belong
guys
to?
up at the top are afraid of. They're afraid that through the
Absolutely.
net, we're all going to get it, whether our philosophy is this or that, or our religion is this or that. We all want the same thing. We want food. We want our kids to be taken care of. We want a decent
Basics?
life. Basic stuff, you know, and when they start going up that way, if we all get together and stop for one day, just say, we just stop. We just want to
Take a
give you a
breath and-
little bit of a tap on the
What
shoulder.
if they had the internet in the '60s?
It was in
Oh.
a different form, I think.
Yeah,
format.
that's ours.
I'll tell you what, in the 60s, communication was different. For one thing, now, because I was in touch with a lot of rock and roll bands, and seeing new rock and roll bands every week come through town, to a large degree, the word was spread by rock and roll bands. If we, it wasn't always on.
Then it was, yeah.
It wasn't always on the news. However, if you're hanging out and you're talking with the band, you find out what was happening up the road, what was happening last week in L.A.
Or they're singing songs about it.
And yeah, right. And
It was an
chances
extension
are,
of the
right.
town
And-
criers or, you know,
and if it didn't make it on the news, they wrote a song about it,
Yeah.
and you know,
Cookies.
But they'd be
already
they'd be
have
talking about it, you know,
Those are
backstage,
bad,
and they'd be writing about it, you know, so they'd be telling more people than just backstage.
And I imagine, I don't know, but I imagine the relative scarcity of that news made it more valuable, so more people.
Oh yes,
flocked to
people
get
paid
that.
attention to
Yeah.
it. Exactly, right. We paid attention to our rock people. No, we really did,
Yeah.
and we revered them much higher than they are today, and I think for good reason.
Well,
You know,
you know, communication. When I look at communication, I say, you know, it's only a short time in human existence that our communication has changed so drastically. I mean, there was always the lantern and the light, the town crier, then came the press, then came, you know, but in such a short
Been
time,
those on
but such
C-SPAN.
it's never been in such a short time that I guess a species was able to communicate on so many different levels and change the way it transports itself, change the way it communicates in such a short time. You know, I
Are you
just,
guys aware of the term singularity? Mm-hmm. Well, I know you are. You know everything. No, I'm serious. You are up on this kind of stuff. But the singularity is the thought that technology is advancing so rapidly and accelerating so rapidly that eventually a point will be reached where it will be so self-sustaining, it'll be basically a vertical integration. Things will start improving more than our ability to predict them improving. I mean, we can predict what's going to happen in the next couple of years. In a couple of years, or actually maybe 5 or 10 years, we'll be able to predict only what happens the next 6 months. Eventually, we will get to the point where our technology is expanding so rapidly, we can't predict what's going to happen
growing
next hour.
exponentially.
Yeah, exactly.
In half the time. Every time.
I look at it as two platforms. One is a message, and two, what are the tools that the message, how people get
How
the
we
message.
communicate.
And you know, even though look at, you know, we have the internet and YouTube and there's all these mediums, right? You still got the power of a pen, ink, and a book, and it's the message on how that people. Well, you were saying that whole group was communicating that message. There, you know, when you communicate a message, it's still of great importance and has an effect. You know, and then the mediums and the way that we communicate it have advanced so that we can reach more people, or you know.
You were saying that eventually through the internet, some group is going to like stop 2/3 of the society.
Well, the tool that it provides for masses to communicate and act and react singularly in one leap, it's easier. It's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier, but I think you're greatly underestimating the ability of the structure to incorporate that into itself. More than revolution, more than change, more than the good things in life, people love the word reform. And that's all you have to throw at them. If you have this mass movement throughout the country, let's say that some group decided, okay, no one's going to buy anything on April 3rd, and no one did, there'd be great hue and cry. The papers would go, oh my God, everything's changing, everything. The politicians go, everything's changing. We must communicate and listen to this new group. We must get them involved in politics.
Or kill them.
No, they wouldn't have to kill them because it's
Because
better.
they can't kill that many. That's true. They kill Martin Luther.
But it's better.
Martin Luther King.
No,
Yeah.
it's better not to kill them.
Yeah.
Because it's more effective not to kill them. It's more effective to
Get them into the
incorporate-
system that they'll
Exactly.
destroy them.
This sounds
The
like
system-
one of my kids' computer games
The
now.
system is designed to take
The
to
blunt,
balance itself.
the blunt, all true radical notions. It incorporates the reform of every radical
I
group
think it was
into
called you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer.
Or you
That
make
was, you keep,
or you make-
keep them in the loop.
or you make your enemies your useful idiots.
Or you have global warming and it cuts all our little games
Or you just
short,
corrupt them.
just like
Exactly.
that,
And make
you
them
know.
just like you.
Exactly.
Right, that's what everybody wants.
Yeah,
But that-
exactly. They
that's
get
what
high
the-
enough up that chain, they get enough power and money, and then it corrupts them.
Yeah.
That's what the
Like
government is
absolute power
best
corrupts
at.
Arthur C.
absolutely.
Clarke wrote a book about that, where we all have a chip in our head, and we are pretty much in communication, instant communication as an organism. It turned into an organism,
Right.
And there's a whole thing that goes on with that, where there are no secrets, nobody can hide, nobody can lie, nobody can take advantage, because and it's kind of a weird one, but when you realize what kind of shape the planet's in, it may be the only choice we have, but I don't think, it's
No,
not
I
going to
think
happen.
individuality should always be preserved over
Yeah.
anything.
Well, these
Bad
guys
or good, bad
they
or
were
good.
not the Borg.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
they weren't one organism. They still
Yeah.
had their individuality, but they could kind of check in and out.
Yeah.
You know.
In Europe, just the chips, there's bars there, and there's a new system where you can become a member of a club, and they put a chip in your shoulder, and you don't pay for your drinks. It's like a scanner, but it's in you.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
true system,
RDF or
yeah.
whatever.
Or
Regular
RFID,
system.
RFID.
RFID.
You know,
Which is
but
an all
that
new
just blows me
passport.
away.
It's
But
going to be
it's,
on the
it's,
next
it's,
federal
it's
ID
marketing
card we
that
have.
same principle.
And then
where,
they're going to inject them.
where's the limit that
That's
you
the
can't?
first step.
That's
That's
the
the
first
first
steps.
step,
I was
yeah.
saying there are steps. Low jack is another step. Oh, it's okay that a car company knows your every move and where you travel and talks to you. Like,
Well, they already
you know?
do that for
Well, if you could
children
trust
in
the
US,
people
they
who are
put that
running
in
the
shut
show.
them
Well,
down.
if you
But
you had,
by
guarantees,
trust
you had
them.
guarantees that
Yeah,
that system
but
is
by
not
def-
going to be used for.
By definition,
Yeah.
you cannot trust the people running any show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's
So that,
certainly.
But it becomes more like, oh, it's for your own good. If you fall down and get hurt, just beep us and we'll be there for you. You know,
Oh, yeah.
this codependency.
for $2,
This
a month.
codependency, yeah. This
No,
For
Right.
$2 a month, you can belong to our,
and not be afraid, you know.
No.
But the problems are still there, and the problems are still going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a false security, you know.
Well, I had two things that I wept this week. I wept when I heard Martin King's speech on Monday night, when he was preaching at the church where the garbage collectors were on strike, and he went and he talked about he'd been to the mountain, and when he was talking about what he had seen and what kind of leader he was